Hello, I'm Erin Keating, and this is my channel, Dr. Rinarung, and today have the pleasure to do the 25 questions in 5 minutes. We'll see if I can make it. It's going to be fun to do something that is unprepared and off the cuff and just, on a teaching day. So I really want to thank first Alex from Banks with Books for tagging me, and let's jump right into this. So ebook or physical book, definitely physical book, although you cannot top ebooks for searchability. So for long stuff, usually I have both the physical and the ebook for that reason. Paperback or hardback, definitely paperback. Big fan of the trade paperback, so slightly larger versions, but also mass market are great. Hardback, just very fancy folio stuff for admiring, but not necessarily reading. It's very heavy. Um, Online or in-store book shopping? In-store, absolutely, preferably local if possible. Trilogies or longer series? I actually really like trilogies. I mean, I love a lot of longer series, but trilogies give you enough time often enough. But standalones are often too short. Heroes or villains? Absolutely villains. No question there whatsoever. A book you want everyone to read? That's really hard. But I think I'm going to say Winter Night by Jess Battist because that is what my most recommended book in the past year or so, and it's basically a queer neurodivergent urban fantasy retelling of Arthurian legend. So highly recommend if you haven't read it. Recommend an underrated book. Um, that's tough. That's really tough because I never know what counts as underrated, if that makes sense. I haven't seen many people talking about Witch King by Martha Wells, so I'm just going to go with that. Although I honestly don't know if it's underrated or overrated. Last book that I finished was actually a theory book. My reread, well, my multi times reread of Michel Foucault's History of Sexuality and Introduction. I read that frequently. The last book I bought would have been John Scalzi's Starter Villain, which I haven't had time to read yet, but it's sitting there looking at me. Weirdest bookmark. I know this is terrible, and I'm going to get grief for this because it's terrible for the spine of the books, but like a pen or pencil, I often will just stick in the book because there's nothing else to hand. Used books, absolutely. Love used books, love finding marginalia in used books. Top three genres. Fantasy, absolutely. Sci-fi and historical fiction, I would say. Top three, not necessarily in that order, although with fantasy definitely at the top. Borrow or buy books. I bought a house to store books, so definitely buy books. um, I love being able to reread and have them and look at notes and whatnot. So yes, if you can buy books, but I'm very appreciative that borrowing books is available, right, for those who don't have the means to buy books or the space to store them. Character or plot? I'm going to say probably plot. Obviously, characters matter, but I'm not really into really deep psychological characters that with not a lot going on, in their world. So I'm going to say plot. Long or short books, definitely long. Almost everything I read is long, whether we're talking 18th century or whether we're talking contemporary. They're all long. Long or short chapters. I like short chapters because it helps break it up. Because I often will read like a chapter at a time, particularly if it's like, before bed reading and whatnot. Name the first three books you think of. Gardens of the Moon by Erickson, uh, Jade City by Fonda Lee, and God, it's so hard being put on spot for stuff like this. Like ADHD, my brain just blanks, totally blanks out, even though I read so many books. Uprooted by Naomi Novik. Books that make you laugh or cry. Definitely cry, but with like a little bits of laughter. That's my favorite for sure. Our world or fictional worlds, I would absolutely live in fictional world happily. Audiobooks, yes or no? Yes, great for dog walking, chores, and whatnot. Definitely, often like as a reread, but yes, definitely audiobooks. Do you ever judge a book by its cover? All the time. Love good cover art. Also love really classic, borders on sort of cheesy cover art as well. Um, book to movie or book to TV adaptations. I like book to TV because I like the space of a series. I think that, particularly if we're talking fantasy, which is what I read or watch mostly, I really like the space that you have if you're going to a series. Movie or TV adaptation you prefer to more than the book. I'm probably going to get a lot of grief for this, but I'm going to say Interview with the Vampire. Not that I didn't enjoy the book, Interview with the Vampire, but that series is just, to my mind, phenomenal and doing incredible things with the original source text. Series or standalones, definitely series. Especially with fantasy, I find so many standalones, I just want more. Unless they're like 800 pages, it feels like there's just not enough room or time to really get into things. And then finally, tag others. I'm actually not going to strictly do that, mainly because I don't know a lot of people on BookTube, but also because I think, in speaking sort of from my own experience in a lot of ways, if you're a small creator and you see this, um, consider yourself tagged. Feel free to tag me in the video, and then I will add it to the notes below retroactively. But absolutely, if this is something you've wanted to do and haven't been tagged yet, consider yourself tagged if you've seen this video. That's it for me. I have no idea if I got it in the time. We'll see when I stop recording. Um, there was an interruption, so there might be some edits, but hopefully you stick around and check out some of my other videos, and hopefully you enjoyed this.